Welcome to Brain Skill Sets Excel tutorial series. Through today's tutorial, we'll dive into one of the most important features in Excel, data validation and protection. Whether you're creating forms, sharing data with a team, or simply trying to keep things organized, these tools will help you maintain accuracy and security in your spreadsheets. Today, we'll cover three key areas: setting up data validation rules, protecting your worksheets and workbooks, and managing file permissions to control who can view or modify your data. Let's begin by setting up data validation rules. This feature helps restrict what data can be entered in a cell, keeping your spreadsheets accurate and error-free. For example, you can create drop-down lists, restrict text length, or limit entries to numbers. These types of data validation rules are often used when creating questionnaires to be filled in Excel. For these purposes, I have also created small questionnaire, which we will use to create some of the data validation rules. First, let's begin with creating a drop-down list. The first field in my questionnaire requires the selection of a gender. I will manually create a drop-down list with predefined options to ensure ease of selection for those completing the form. To do so, first I'll select the cell where I want to apply the drop-down, which will be cell B1. Then I'll head over to the Data tab and click Data Validation. In the Data Validation window, I will choose Settings tab, and under Allow, I'll choose List. Afterwards, in the source box, I'll type the options I want to appear in the dropdown, separated by commas. Now, Excel will only allow entries from this list. If someone tries to enter invalid data, Excel will show an error message. I can also customize an error message that will pop up if someone enters invalid data. For this, I will again open the Data Validation window by clicking on Data Validation under the Data tab. Then, in the Data Validation window, I will choose Error Alert tab under Error Message. I will write, "Please select an option from the list," and click on OK. Now, if someone tries to enter invalid data, they will receive customized error message. In some instances, it might be necessary to have long drop-down list. For example, when filling in birth dates. In this case, manually entering each option might take some time. It could be done much faster. Let me show you how. First, let's create another worksheet inside our workbook. For this, I will click on plus sign in the lower left corner of the worksheet, and Excel will create brand new worksheet for me. By double-clicking on the new worksheet, I will rename it Data. First, let's create list of all 12 months in column A. I will start by typing header month in the cell A1. Then in cell A2, I will write January, and in cell A3, I will write February. As a next step, I will select both January and February, click on Rectangle on the little green lower right side of the selection, and drag the cursor down. Next, I will do the same for the days and for the years. I will create header day in the cell B1 and input numbers 1 through 31 below. I will then create header year in the cell C1 and input numbers 1900 through 2024 below. I will also use the same method that I used for month and have the Excel guide me. Now that we are done, I will go back to my questionnaire. I will select the cell B4 and try to create list of months there. The procedure will be the same, so I will go to Data tab, click on Data Validation. In the Data Validation window, I will click on Settings and choose List under Allow. For this one, instead of manually writing names of all months, I will click on the little arrow at the end of the source box, go to Data Worksheet and select range from A2 through A13, which has all the months. After clicking OK, as you can see, Excel created a drop-down list for months with all the months' names in it, and I saved a bunch of time just with a little bit of preparation. I will do the same for the day and year now. Just like this, I saved lots of valuable time and energy that might have been wasted on entering all these data manually. You can also use data validation to restrict entries to specific numbers or control the length of text. Let's say I want to make sure only numbers between 1 and 124 are entered for the field age in the cell B6. I'll open Data Validation window by clicking on Data Validation under Data tab, and in the Data Validation window, select Settings tab again. Although, instead of selecting List, I will now select Whole Number under Allow and set the minimum and maximum to 1 and 124 respectively. This will ensure only valid entries. I will then click on Error Alert tab in the Data Validation window, and in the Error Message input, please input number between 1 and 124 to direct users correctly if they were to input invalid data. Now, if I input invalid data, I get error message with the directions. The last data validation technique that we will cover in this lesson is restricting length of the text. For the last section of my questionnaire, I need the users to input first 5 letters of their last names. To make sure that they do not input more, I will use data validation. Like in previous cases, I will first open the data validation window. I will again choose Settings tab in the window, and under Allow, we'll select text length. Next, I will set the minimum and maximum to 2 and 5 respectively. I will also go to Error Alert tab in the window, and under Error Message, we'll write appropriate text. As you can see, if I try to input less than 2 letters or more than 5 letters, I get the error message. Now that we managed to create our mini questionnaire, we will need to protect it. Therefore, next we'll look at protecting a worksheet to prevent accidental changes or unauthorized edits. To do so, we need to go to the Review tab and click Protect Sheet. Box menu will appear and you'll see several options. Here you can allow certain actions like selecting or formatting cells while blocking others. If you'd like, you can also add a password to prevent anyone from unprotecting the sheet without your permission. I will go with the default options of Select Lock Cells and Select Unlock Cells. I will also input the password so to prevent anyone from unprotecting the sheet without my permission. Sometimes protecting just the worksheet does not do the job. In this case, we can protect the whole workbook. If you want to protect the entire workbook, including the structure, first click on the File tab and then go to Info. Here you will see Option to Protect Workbook. You have several options here, like encrypting the workbook with a password or protecting its structure so no one can add or remove sheets. No matter which option you choose, you will then have to save the workbook in order to apply protection. I myself will go with password protection. As you can see, in order to encrypt with password, you will have to enter your desired password twice like before. Finally, let's look at managing file permissions to control who can access or modify our workbooks. For this, we can go to File tab and under Info, click on Protect Workbook. Then we select Restrict Access. After this, you can set different permission levels, like allowing only certain users to edit or view the workbook. To recap, in this tutorial, we've covered how to set up data validation rules to keep your data clean and consistent, how to protect worksheets and workbooks from unwanted changes, and how to manage file permissions to control who can access your data. Try using these tools in your own Excel files to take your data management to the next level. As always, feel free to drop any questions or suggestions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Excel tutorials.